There's a low hum, a rumble. Something is turning over after a long, long time. In the old days, power was about brute force, big pistons, loud explosions. You threw a whole bottle of something at a problem and hoped for the best, a guess, a prayer. Mostly, it was just a very big hammer. Today, it's different. The power is quiet. It's precise. It's found in the smallest of parts. They call them peptides. Doesn't sound like much, does it? They are tiny, really tiny. Think of them not as the engine, but as the one perfect bolt holding the turbocharger together. Get it wrong, and the whole thing sputters to a halt. They get it right, and you get performance you didn't think was possible. These aren't just bolts, though. They're jewels, kept in sterile, gleaming workshops that look more like a design studio for a hypercar than a laboratory. All white surfaces, cool blue light. Walk into one of these places, and you can feel the hush, the reverence. The air is clean, filtered. The only sound is the gentle whir of machinery and the soft tapping on curved monitors. Researchers, faceless in their white coats, move with a quiet purpose. I remember when a doctor's office was just a man with a cold stethoscope and a bottle of something vaguely brown. How far we've come. This is not medicine by guesswork. This is engineering, and the parts they're engineering with are exquisite. Little chains of amino acids, the fundamental building blocks of you, of me, of everything. A few strung together, and you have a peptide, a specific instruction, a tiny biological command. It doesn't shout, it whispers, it tells a cell to do one job and to do it perfectly. It is the difference between a sledgehammer and a laser scalpel. And it is, quite simply, brilliant. So, what are these things really? A peptide is a message, a short-coded signal that tells your body what to do next. Burn this fat, grow that muscle, calm this inflammation. For years, we used blunt instruments. Now, we have a set of coded instructions. It's like having the cheat codes. And the results are starting to get loud, really loud. First, there was the big one, the headline grabber, GLP-1, a peptide that tells your brain you're full. Simple, but the effect? Monumental. Bam. Suddenly the battle with weight wasn't just about willpower anymore. It was about biochemistry. We found the switch. The science was patient, stubborn, but it worked. The data came in and the graphs went up. People were losing serious weight. Not a few pounds. A real, noticeable amount. A victory you could see. Then, just as we were getting used to that, another one rolled off the line. Retatrutide, a bigger name, a bigger promise. It took the GLP-1 idea and put a supercharger on it. Whoomp! The numbers got even better. More significant weight loss. In the labs, vials sit in their V formation like a squadron of fighter jets ready for takeoff. The scientists watch the side effects like hawks. Tuning the dosage. This is an engine being pushed to its absolute limit with precision and care. It's a world away from the old medicine. You can almost see the glitchy 1-second cut to a grainy black and white film. A surgeon in a bloody apron. A bottle with a skull and crossbones. Then snap back to the present. The gleaming lab. The silent researchers. The curved screens showing data streams in crisp, clean lines. We've gone from hoping to knowing, from blunt force to a targeted strike. The progress is staggering. Beyond weight, the whispers have started about another project, something a bit comic book. They call it the Wolverine peptide. A daft name, but the idea behind it is deadly serious. This isn't about looking good. This is about rebuilding. The theory is that this peptide analog can trigger the body's own repair mechanisms, telling it to fix muscle, skin, bone at an accelerated rate. A complete game changer. If it works, imagine it. An athlete recovering from a torn ligament in half the time. A soldier healing from an injury on the battlefield. The slow, creeping decline of age-related muscle loss slowed. It's a bold, audacious hope. Click. That's the sound of a new possibility locking into place. Of course, the correct posture here is cautious optimism. which is scientist for try not to get too excited, but this could be massive. The data is still young, but the potential? Enormous. This is the very essence of precision medicine. Not a one-size-fits-all pill, but a specific tool for a specific job. The right key for the right lock. These peptides are not magic potions brewed in a cauldron. They are highly specific tools that require a master technician. The dosage has to be perfect. The timing has to be perfect. The delivery method has to be perfect. One wrong move and the whole thing is useless. That's why the labs look like the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. Precision is everything. You see, the body already has these systems. It knows how to heal. It knows how to regulate itself. All we're doing is learning its language. We're learning how to send the right messages at the right time to get the engine running not just smoothly, but better than it did when it left the factory. So, what have we learned? We've learned that the biggest changes often come from the smallest parts. Peptides are not a fad. They are a fundamental shift in how we approach the human machine. They are the tiny bolts, the coded signals, the whispered instructions that can fix, nudge, and dramatically improve performance. They are making the engine run smoother, stronger, and more efficiently than ever before. This is not the future. This is happening right now, on this day, 2026-05-15. This new era of medicine is a toolbox filled with instruments of incredible precision. We are moving away from the medical equivalent of hitting the engine with a wrench and hoping for the best. Instead, we are plugging in a diagnostic computer, identifying the exact fault, and deploying a tiny programmed agent to fix it. It's smarter, it's cleaner, and the potential for what comes next is frankly mind-boggling. We are just at the beginning of this road. Of course, like any powerful engine, these tools demand respect. They need rules. They need careful handling. The race is on, not just for speed and power, but for safety and control. The master mechanics of tomorrow will not be the ones who can build the most powerful peptide, but the ones who can wield it with the most skill and responsibility. The stakes are higher than just winning a race. This is about rewriting what's possible for human health. And so, as the hum of progress gets louder, we are left with a delicious, slightly absurd conclusion. For decades, we looked for big cures, for big problems. And all along, the answer was microscopic. We are entering an age where the smallest parts will give us the biggest drive. The tiny engines are waking up. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what happens when we finally put the pedal to the metal. It's going to be quite a ride.